Hello YouTube, today we're going to answer 8 questions from Scratches, the director's cut. One. Who killed Catherine Blackwood? Robin Blackwood, but there's a problem. Robin was only 21 months old. It is difficult to imagine someone barely old enough to even be a toddler inflicting such a severe wound on an otherwise healthy adult. It could also be James Blackwood. It's possible that he was trying to start the warding ritual with intent to use Catherine as the victim because the voices made him do it according to the alternate ending. But there is a problem. Nothing was taken from Catherine to create the warding amulet, only the branch was discovered in the chapel. Two. Why did James Blackwood bury Catherine in the garden? If Robin killed Catherine, James likely wanted to keep Robin a secret, so planned on burying her to disappear the body and later file a missing persons report. If James killed Catherine, then his reasons for hiding the body are all too obvious. Three. Whose body is in the crypt? Who did Robin kill at the end of the last visit? James Blackwood would have died of a heart attack in 1963, meaning that it is Milton who returns to the manor at the end of the last visit. Also, it could be Christopher Milton. According to the alternate ending, James put Milton's body in the crypt, and it would be James who returns to the manor at the end of the last visit. Also, for Milton's body to be in the crypt, that would have to mean that James Blackwood didn't really die in 1963. He would have been presumed dead after Dr. Milton used his medical knowledge to help him fake his death. Years later, Blackwood would have murdered Milton due to his oral hallucinations and his obsession with the mask. A third alternative is Michael Arthate. Problem. Arthate's body would not be in the crypt, and it is highly unlikely that it is him at the end of the last visit. His voice is too different and only 4 to 8 years passed between the two games. Four. Does the alternate ending change whose body is in the crypt? Yes. Here's the problem. The corpse looks the same in the game regardless of the ending. Or no, with the problem being that this would require either the body to be James or Milton in both versions. If it is James in the crypt, then it's Milton's body in the cell, and that would mean he wrote a letter pretending to be James. But, if the body in the crypt is Milton, then James is alive in the original ending, returns to Blackwood Manor at the end of the last visit. 5. Does the alternate ending mean that Robin is dead? In this ending, James described how he killed Catherine and Milton. Although he didn't mention how he killed Robin, he says Robin was first. Six. Who fed Robin after Christopher Milton's disappearance? James Blackwood. It's possible since there is recent banking activity from Blackwood's account. Here's the problem. It would be difficult to avoid seeing periodic deliveries arriving at the manor. The second option is Christopher Milton. It's possible that Milton has access to Blackwood's bank account, but the same problem of concealing deliveries exists here too. Also, Arthate impersonating Milton during the bank phone call wasn't enough for Robert Blake to divulge details on any specifics for James' account activity. Thirdly, the meat may have been ordered years in advance. The big problem with that is who put the meat down the grate. It is possible that special instructions were given, and again, it would be difficult for deliveries to be unnoticed. Seven. Who had access to James Blackwood's account? James Blackwood. The problem is that in the alternate ending, James Blackwood is dead and appears to have been for quite some time. It could also be Christopher Milton. However, in the alternate ending, Christopher Milton is dead and his personal account has had no activity in years. Lastly, it could be Jerry Carter. Of course, there's no evidence of this, but Jerry was engaged in fraudulent activity regarding the property. It could be that Jerry found a way to access the Blackwood account in the alternate ending. 8. Is the supernatural real in Scratches? It's possible that the psychoses experienced by James, Christopher, and Michael not to mention the birth defects of Robin, are all explained by the mask. Also, it appears that the mask survives the manor's demolition at the end of the last visit, perhaps by its own power. Problem: no absolute demonstration of the supernatural without mundane or psychological explanations is available. There is no mechanism to explain how the supernatural operates. The closest example of a mechanism is Michael's attempt at the warding ritual. In the original version, the ritual eases his psychosis until the scratching noises are heard from the living room fireplace. In the alternate version, the ritual temporarily eases his psychosis until he hears the scratching noises from the living room fireplace. Keep in mind that in the alternate ending, the scratches and silhouette in the basement are all in Michael's head. So in short, the warding ritual didn't work. For the non-supernatural explanation, perhaps James' psychosis comes from PTSD from what he witnessed in South Africa. Also, Christopher's psychosis may stem from guilt or secrets about the Blackwood family. Michael's psychosis could emerge from anxiety and fear of the situation and unsettling environment. And finally, Robin's physical and developmental disabilities come from Catherine ingesting thalidomide for morning sickness, which causes birth defects and later got recalled. That detail is divulged during the last visit. Whether or not the supernatural exists is a theme that reoccurs in the game. Michael R. Fate himself struggles to decide whether the ending to the book he's writing should or should not contain the supernatural, and I think the game developers were trying to drive the ambiguity home. Anyway, those are the 8 questions. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have your own questions or explanations regarding the game, please feel free to share them below.